Since 1948, the Greater St. Louis Book Fair has raised money for various charities in the St. Louis region. And joining me today are Greater St. Louis Book Fair board member Peggy Kornfein and Nick Walka, who is the branch manager of First Bank Clayton. But not just that, you're very involved with the book fair as well, Nick, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. Peggy, tell us about the Greater St. Louis Book Fair, the history, how long it's been around, what you do. You've got a big job.
This is the 67th book fair. It was originally started to fund Nursery Foundation, which unfortunately a few years ago closed. But we now fund literacy programs and education programs throughout the St. Louis area.
Yeah, and you do that by the proceeds of the Greater St. Louis Book Fair every year. So we were talking a little bit off camera about how that actually works. So why don't you fill in our viewers?
Well, we are very lucky because we have wonderfully generous people in the St. Louis area who donate all the books. Everything sold at the fair is donated by the generous people of St. Louis.
Is it too late to donate, or is it?
We would prefer people wait until after May the 16th because
to donate for next year's
for
fair.
next year's fair.
Because you're probably inundated right now, going through and categorizing.
If you have more than 10 boxes, you can call our number, and we can arrange to have someone come to your house and pick up the books. If not, we have book houses at West County Center, in Clayton Galleria, and at South County, where people can drop off their donations.
Right, after May 16th at this point.
After May the 16th,
Okay.
please.
So how many books are you going through right now?
We will take 1 million items, and that includes sheet music, DVDs, CDs, postcards, books of all sizes, shapes, and records also.
And have you seen the materials change over the years? Are books still as popular for donations and for purchasing as they have been, or are you seeing a change in the medium?
Books are making a comeback, and people are going back to reading books. There's something about holding a book in your hand and reading a book. Children's books have always been popular, and it's wonderful to see kids find a book and then they hide underneath the tables and they sit and they read the books while their parents shop. So that's wonderful.
Absolutely. A book is the best babysitter, right? Always. So Nick, you've got a long history with the Greater St. Louis Book Fair, also as a board member like Peggy. And so tell us a little bit about that. You were young when you first started as a volunteer.
I actually started with the bank when I was 17. And I started working with the fair as well, which I would work always Thursday night because it's opening night, and it's always good to see everyone come in. And I actually started taking charge of the large purchase area, and that brings in all the dealers, and they have buy in bulk. So that's a lot of probably 5 to 10 boxes a piece that they usually coming through with.
And they come from across the Midwest, right, to purchase books, and they wait for this event. Yes,
which is kind of interesting because when we check their ID, it's kind of cool to see all the different states that they're coming into St. Louis.
And just to understand, the book dealers are coming in on Thursday night typically.
Mainly, yes, because
so they come the first night. They pay a little bit of an admission fee. The rest of the weekend's free, right? So they pay to have that first look.
Yeah, and it's kind of like when they open the gates, they come running. And, they usually know where the good books are, as well as, some of the more popular ones.
So what types of books, and Peggy, maybe this is a question for you, are the dealers really looking for? Either one of you throw it.
It depends. Some dealers are interested in history books, others in general literature. Some come and look at our rare book case because we have a section of the fair where our valuable books, $25 on up, are kept. They also they look for horror, romance, just
so it just
anything.
Really depends on what they're dealing in.
Right.
So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a lot more about the Greater St. Louis Book Fair by the numbers. So stay with us. We'll have more with the Greater St. Louis Book Fair after this break.